Hi, I'm Phil from Driftworks and this is my 964 Turbo. In the last episode where we finally got to the bottom of the handling issues, I mentioned that there might be a possible turbo upgrade on the way. So yeah, while the car was on the ramp trying to sort out a few of the handling problems, I thought I'd have a quick look at the turbo. It's always made a pretty weird noise, quite a turbo-y noise for the turbo that it is. It's a TO4S HKS turbo. So yeah, we pulled the intake pipe off, had a look, managed to squeeze in just a little bit just to get a picture, and yeah, this is that picture of the turbo as it sits currently. So it's always been a massively laggy beast, this car. So actually, weirdly, I was quite happy to find that there was a problem with the turbo. You know, a bit worrying as to where those bits have gone, but you know, they've been consumed. Let's forget about that for now. Don't bother looking and you won't find out. That's how I look at it. So yeah, upgrade time, obviously. So what's the upgrade? Borg Warner EFR series. So I've used this turbo, a much smaller version, on my S15. Fun drift cars, which is a 2 litre, and I think it's about 460 horsepower, something like that. Works really well. Decided to get a slightly bigger version for this. So the one that I had on the S15 was an EFR 7064, I think, quite a small one. And this is not small. This is an 8374, and I've got an admission to make. I had a different one of these boxes turn up originally, because the idea is that we're going for around about 650 horsepower. So the obvious turbo for that is a EFR 7670, I think. It should make up to 650 horsepower on an engine like this, but it turned up and it looked weak. It basically had it had a 3.5 inch inlet, which is smaller than the TO4S that's on there. It was T4 housing, same exhaust housing I think as this one, but the compressor housing was much smaller. Compressor housing was actually physically smaller than the exhaust housing, really tiny. Wouldn't match up to my existing pipe work, and just generally didn't look manly enough. So yeah, I decided to sacrifice a little bit more lag to just have a gigantic turbo instead. If you're not familiar with the EFR series, it's quite a modern turbo, very efficient, comes with a load of decent features. Dump valve, built-in dump valve, boost control, provision for speed sensor. Don't care about any of that. It is an anti-surge, which I guess is just what you get on modern turbos now. I'm not 100% sure what I'm going to do with that. The one on the S15 doesn't sound very turbo-y, and I like a bit of drama in my life. I also like to make my life difficult, so I might consider doing a modification to this. I know that people do the T51 arm mod, the HKS mod on these, sort of an aftermarket modification to have a different type of anti-surge that makes a load of row. But yeah, have a think about that, because I'm not actually sure what this is going to sound like on this car anyway. Other thing I'm going to do, which I'm definitely going to do, is modify the exhaust housing. It comes with its own Borg Warner 3-inch V-band outlet, so I've got a 3.5 inch male-female V-band, quite a high quality one with quite a shallow clamp which we use these on quite a lot of our cars. And yeah, basically I'm going to change that so that we can get it out to 3.5 inch as quick as possible. But first, before any of that, I am going to just bolt this up to the car as is to see whether there's any other issues. It should bolt up here because it's T4 still, exactly the same as what's on there. But these turbos they're quite long, and space on the 911 is quite limited. So I just want to bolt it up first and just make sure that this isn't going to ram into the chassis or anything like that. I think I've got more than enough room to fabricate the exhaust that I need after the outlet, but yeah, just going to bolt it up and see what it looks like first. So I probably better show you what the existing setup's like, because it's pretty damn nice. This being a Promodet car, it has a work of art exhaust on it. That's basically one of their trademarks, what they're known for. They're hand-formed headers, manifolds, and exhaust systems. They are beautiful. I'll probably put a bit of footage off their own YouTube channel in here. Hopefully it doesn't get copyrighted. But yeah, the way they make them, it's kind of art in my opinion. So yeah, that is absolutely lovely. So what you've got here is one broken TO4S turbo that's not that broken. As you can see, it's quite a bit smaller than what we're looking at here. But yeah, this is also modern technology. This is ancient. Close up of how this is built. It's not clean. Apologies, it should be looked after a little bit better than this. But yeah, the way it's fabricated, it's kind of like motorbike style systems. They're double slip joints. They seal really well. You can see the flanges up there. HKS wastegate, which I can't remember. I'm not sure if I've had that off, but it being a full split divided system, T4 twin scroll, I'm not sure whether this is divided all the way down to the piston on the wastegate, which if it isn't, kind of defeats the object of twin scroll a bit. But yeah, I'll check that out and see whether that needs, you know, potentially changing there. Yeah, see out of the back of the exhaust here, it's really nicely done. It uses a piston ring, and I don't have any issues with it leaking at all. It just literally pushes in with a piston ring. It's very clever. But it's at this point it's only 3 inch into this silencer that's not worth it at all, because this thing is so loud. And then it exits out of here as a 3.5 inch. So that bit's good. Don't like that bit because the drone on this car is unbearable at like 2,800 RPM ish. Which is obviously motorway cruising speeds most of the time. It's horrible. So pretty much every time you see me driving this car, I've got earplugs in. So what I'm thinking I might do, even though this is absolutely beautiful, is I might remake from this part to the turbo with a Jetex silencer in it. One of the big oval ones. Well, not big, it's tiny. It's like about from there to there, but it's oval. The box size is a little bit bigger than this, and I've already checked it should fit behind the bumper okay. Just want to take the edge off the noise a little bit. Don't care if you call me old, I am. So yeah, I guess I'd probably better start unbolting stuff and see whether I can physically make the new turbo fit here. You can see that, the way that seals there. It's actually 2 piston rings. Very clever. Yeah, all of this is very nicely made. So there we go then. New one's a bit bigger. I do make some fun decisions in my life sometimes. Check out the damage on this. That is some serious badness going on there. Yeah. Something bad has gone through there. It's no wonder the thing sounds so ridiculously squealy. It's a miracle it's not exploded. So whatever caused that, let's hope it didn't do too much damage to the engine on its way through. Well, that's if it made it that far. It could be in the intercooler, but I have had the intercooler off a couple of times to do things like pressure testing, and I've never noticed anything because it would be kind of stuck in this side potentially, but I'll remove that again and check it out. The intercooler, actually, on that note, is probably going to be upgraded. It is a bit small for this sort of turbo. Oh, and it was filtered, obviously. It's just a mesh filter, so whatever went through that turbo must have been in the pipe somehow during some maintenance or something, whether somebody's dropped a nut or a bolt. But yeah, that is bad. This is good, but it's massive. So yeah, I should probably see whether it actually in any way fits at all. So I've orientated this correctly already. It's just a case of undoing the 10mm on the V-band on the compressor housing and spun it into place so it's the same as the TO4S that came off. Required. Tight. Not far off, but tight. So what I need to work out is probably give myself a bit more room by moving or removing that, just so I can get it sort of a bit more level, straight. But yeah, it looks like there's massive interference here, so I need to check what's going on behind that, because I think there's the engine brace, one of the main engine mount points, is behind there somewhere. And yeah, I don't think cutting into that is a massively good idea. So the other option potentially, which I did wonder about, because you know, realistically I didn't just buy a gigantic turbo thinking it was going to bolt straight on. The other option is possibly re-angling the flange, which we can do, but yeah, I guess I've got to put the camera down and make some decisions here, because yeah, massive turbo, big problems. Massive for me. Massive. Jay's turbo basically makes any turbo look inferior. Have you got it there?
Even my small one.
Where is it?
Do you want me to bring it down?
You're going to come over and make me feel inferior, yeah?
Do you want the little one or the big one?
Bring the big one, bring your new one. Coming to a episode soon of Jay's 1000 horsepower plus LS project. Yeah, it might be a bit more than 1000 horsepower now, AJ. Don't bust a gut picking it up. You can come round here and I'll stand out the way with our distancing rules, and you can make everybody feel inferior.
Happy.
Look at the state of that. Zoomy.
Oh, that's more like it, isn't it? I mean, I'm about to die, but oh.
What's that one?
This?
Yeah, what was it?
Borg Warner S488, 88mm, 400 series.
So yeah, that's a big turbo, like a really big
children's
turbo. That is a really big turbo.
That's what your dad uses.
Yeah, because it's from the 60s,
yeah.
Of a tractor.
Yeah, all those things. Power's power.
Yeah, so I'll stick with my modern technology on this one, I think.
I'll stick with 200 quid.
200 quid, is that what that was?
Big.
My God. This was not 200 quid. That's another really nice bit of Promodet fabrication. Just quickly change the orientation on the compressor housing again. That's more like it. Nearly fits now. Just a few more bits to cut. Right, there's nothing behind that, so I'm just going to give it a little gentle tap with my smallest hammer. See whether it actually moves. Just a bolt in that bit. Fits. Okay, there we go. I cannot see any reason why that's not going to work. Exit seems to fire roughly in the right direction. I need to make some more clearance up here. It's just touching there. You can see where I've made the yellow mark there. I need a bit more clearance, but it's not going to come into where the bumper sits. And have full clearance for the exhaust housing, which I'll tidy up obviously. It looks rough as hell, but yeah, you can kind of put a light behind it and see. Yeah, there's actually quite a reasonable sort of 5-10mm there, which is pretty decent. And I don't think it's going to come past the bumper, which is also good. Oil feed, we'll be able to make that work. There's plenty of room for that. Oil drain, I'm certain we'll be able to adapt what Promodet had already made for the TO4S. So yeah, it's looking promising, let's put it that way.
At Driftworks, we've helped over 50,000 happy customers since 2004. Our huge online parts store is simple to use, with superb shipping rates to anywhere in the world, and finance options available for UK customers. We live and breathe wheel fitment, so if you have any questions about your own car or any of our products before placing an order, please drop us an email at shop@driftworks.com or give us a call. Thanks for watching.